Hello everyone, am I audible guys? Is my voice clear? Yes or no? Right? Hello guys, my voice is clear, yes or no everyone? Okay, so let's wait for some more time. In 5 minutes we will be starting. Should we start guys everyone? Yes or no? Quickly. Will the live lectures be saved in the playlist or is it a one time? It will be saved, so don't worry about that. Should we start guys everyone? Yes or no? Quickly. Yes, Pratiksha, this is a live lecture. This is a live lecture, right? So to make interface really look good, and if you guys have any other questions to ask, that's why I'm conducting this live lecture, right? We will be starting in 5 minutes. Let other people join. we will be starting in 2-3 minutes. Okay guys, right, so let's start. So we are now going to start, right? So in the last lecture what we have studied, so we will start with the last lecture and then we will see the agenda of today's lecture and everything, whatever we are going to look at, right. So first of all, what we have seen till now, right? Till now, what is the things that we have seen till now, right? So if you guys remember, in the last class we started with, basics of programming, right? Basics of programming, right? Then we saw, right, basics of programming. Then we also saw why Python is used for data science. So why Python, right? We also saw this, right? So first of all, we started with the basics of programming, and then, right. Then we also saw why Python, right? This is the two things that we saw. After that, we saw some basic syntax, right? So we saw some basic syntax, right. Guys, one more thing, whoever are the paid members, you can just type all your messages from your chat, right? YouTube chat. I am going to see your all of your messages from there. So no need to worry about that. Whatever questions comes, you can just ask in the chat, right? Now, so basics of programming, then why Python, then we also saw syntax, right? What is the syntax, right, of the Python language? This is something that we have seen till now. So what was the analogy, if you guys remember? So let's say if someone is born, then what happens, right? Someone is born, let's say, right? If someone is born, then the things start something like this, that, at first, right. So just a second guys, a few of the students are not able to join the class, right? So if someone is born, then what happens actually, right? So if someone is born, then they starts learning A, B, C, D, something like that. A, B, C, D, E, F, something like that. And then, right, and then you learn about the words, apple, ball, something like that, apple, ball, cat, something like that. Then you start making sentences. I am happy, right? Right. I am happy, right? Right. Something like that, right? This is the understanding, right? Similarly, to learn a programming language, right? What you can do? To learn a programming language, the same thing actually translates. What happens in the programming language? You also try to learn first the data types, and then you start making statements, right? After you learn the syntax, right? Similar things happens in the programming language as well, right? So we discussed something like this. Guys, whoever is joining from the CareerCraft dashboard, please, if you want to have some comments, you can just comment on the YouTube chat easily, right? I am seeing you all of your messages, so no need to worry about that. Okay. Whatever, if you guys have any doubts out there, you can just ask all the doubts in the chat. Okay. Now moving forward, this is the understanding till now we have seen. Then in the last class, if you guys remember, right, I had asked some, I had given you some interview questions, right? One of the question was, which is more faster, compiled language or interpreted language? Anyone, can you answer this? Which is more faster, right? Compiled language, right? Or interpreted language, right? Interpreted language. This is the question already I had asked. Right? Which is more faster, compiled language or interpreted language? If you guys remember, so the answer to this question would be compiled language. Right? Compiled languages are more faster as compared to interpreted language. So these are some things that we had discussed. In the last class already I have given few more interview questions. I am not going to discuss that because those interview questions were already discussed in the class that we had taken yesterday, that I had taken yesterday. So that's the understanding. Now this was all about, till now what we have seen. Now what would be the agenda of today's class? Agenda of today's class, right? So since this is a second class, I will be easy for you guys again today as well. But today's class is very, very important because these things are asked in the interview. These things are the basic building blocks of programming language. So we are going to study, we are going to discuss everything here in detail. Right. So let's start, guys. What we are going to study? First, we are going to start with the concept of mutability. Mutability and immutability. What are these concepts? Mutability and immutability. This should be the first thing. Right? Mutability and immutability. Right? Then second, we are going to learn about operators. What is operators? And the third thing we are going to look at is conditionals. So these all things we are going to learn. Right? So basically, till now what we have seen the data type. Data type means basic A, B, C, D, E, F, something like that. Now we are going to look at the statements and syntax. We will know how to create a word. We will know how to create a sentence in the programming language. So these are the three things that we are going to look at today. Right? So far good, everyone? Right? Everyone? So let's start, guys. Right. Anyone has any questions so far? Quickly, any questions? Okay. No questions so far? So let's move ahead. Now we are going to look at the things that we are going to start with today's class. Right. So first of all, I will open the Jupyter notebook. So what I can do, maybe I will just write it here, Jupyter notebook, right? So we will be having Jupyter notebook, right? So this is the Jupyter notebook now, right? Now let's start. So we have to downloads. Now I will just open the new notebook, right? Open the new notebook, right? Very good. So this is your new notebook. So let's start, guys. So first concept that we are going to learn is the concept of mutability. Mutability. What is the concept of mutability? Right. We are going to look at this. So if someone says you, right, please mute yourself. What is the meaning of that? So you stop speaking up. Something like that happens, right? But in Python, the concept of mutability is little bit different. Right? What is the meaning of mutability? We are going to understand this. So for example, we'll start with a very simple example. Let's start with a simple example. So let's say you have something called a is equals to 3. A is equals to 3. And if you just write a, then you get to know that a is 3. The value of a is 3. So what happens here? So if you remember in the last class, so let's say here you have one memory space. Let's say this is a RAM. And let's say a memory block here, a is created and the value assigned is 3. This is the understanding. Right? This is the understanding. Very good. Not a problem. Now, exactly it doesn't happen this way, but we will be looking at other things in detail in the upcoming classes. So let's say now you will write b is equals to Ajay, right? B is equals to Ajay, right? B is equals to Ajay. Now in this case, what will happen? Similarly, if you write b is equals to Ajay, then there will be a memory block created. A memory block will be like this, right? Where the values will be something like this: A, J, A, and then Y. And let's say this has some name. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, right? And the whole thing is referenced as B. I'm just speaking up. Let's assume that this is the way. Right. Very good. Right. Now, if you have B is equals to Ajay and these are the accessible numbers, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Now let's say if you want to access some element, right? Let's say you want to call A. How can you call? Very simple. You can simply write B0. So if you just write B0, then you will get the value that is A. Right? This is the A, you will get it. Right? Now again, let's say if you want to have the 1. So let's say here you just write 1, then you will get J. Somehow like this. Right? This is the way you are accessing the elements. You are just trying to access the element. Though we will be seeing this in detail in the upcoming classes in the string chapter. So no need to worry about that. But this is the way you are accessing the elements. Now, this is your data container. Let's say this is a data container. This is a data container where you are trying to access each of the elements. Right? You are trying to access each of the elements. Very good. Now let's move ahead. So we have understood so far now. Now let's say another container where you can store the data is called as list. So let's say another container. So list is another container where you can store all the data. Another container to store the data. Container to store the data. Right. So list is another container to store the data. Now this is going to be fun. Right. So how list is defined? So list container is defined something like this. List container is equals to maybe let's say 1, let's say Ajay. Let's say again we have Bijay, let's say Bijay, and then maybe let's say we have Sanjay. Let's say we have Sanjay, right? We have Sanjay, right? Fine. So we have some elements, right? And let's say 2, 3, something like that. Again, this is a container. So I often say list is like a mom's bag where you can store anything. Right. where you can store anything, right, 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 where you can store anything, right, right. Now, let's say if you want to access the element, in the same way you can access the element. How? Right. How? Right. In the same way you can access the element. So let's say here, if you want to access the element, right? So you can similarly say 0. Let's say here 1. Let's say this 2. Let's say this 3. Let's say this 4. Let's say this 5. Right. You can access each of these elements again in this way. Now, let's say if you want to access the element. So let's say if you want to access the element here, then what you can do. So for example, let's say list container. So list container. You want to access the 0th element. So here you can access the 0th element as 1. Right. Now again, let's say if you want to access the element bj. How can you do that? Right. So you can again just write list container, and then you can write, let's say 1. So here you can just say that you can access Ajay. Right. That's the understanding. This is the way you can access the element. Very good so far, right? Not a problem. Now here comes the concept of mutability. What is the meaning of concept of mutability? So let's say you want to change this element Ajay with some other name. So let's say here you want to write list count. So let's say list container, right? And then you first access the element. Fine, this is Ajay. Now you want to change the element, right, to some other values. Let's say Bagan, right? So you want to put it Bangan. Then what will happen in this case? So just execute this, right? Here list container 1 is equals to some value that is bang. Right. So now if you see here list container, let's say list container, right? List container. Okay. So here list container equals to bang. Now if you see, now Ajay has been changed to bang. Right. Ajay has changed to bang. So this concept is called as mutability. What is this concept called? Mutability. So what is the meaning of mutability? Right. What is the meaning of the mutability? Right. Objects or container. Objects slash container whose state or value can be changed after they are created. Are called mutable objects. Are called as mutable objects. This is the understanding. This is the understanding. Right. Now, what about this? This was also one of the container. B equals to Ajay. This is also one of the container. Right. But now let's try to change this. So let's say B is equals to Ajay. Right. Fine. We had B is equals to Ajay. So B is equals to Ajay. Now you want to access the element. So let's say B, and here in this case you wrote 1. So here there is J. Now you want to change J with I. Right. Can you do so? Right. Can you do so? Right. The answer is no. You cannot do so. Right. You cannot actually change the values out here. Right. Why? Because strings are immutable. So if you just execute this, it will throw you an error. A string object does not support item assignment. So strings are immutable. The strings are immutable. So moving forward, you will realize that in sequential data, some of the data structures right, are mutable. Some of them are immutable, right. String is one of them which is immutable. That is the understanding. So if I have to define mutability and immutability, right, how can I define, or how can I put things now? So for example, let's say mutability, right, mutability, state, or let's say objects whose state can be changed, right, after they are created, this is your mutable, right, mutability definition, right. Now moving ahead, right, if I have to compare mutable and immutable, how can I compare? So let's say mutable, here we have mutable, and then we have immutable, right, mutable and immutable, right. So I can simply write whose state can be modified, whose state can be modified, this is the first thing, right. Whose state cannot be modified, whose state cannot be modified, right. Example, here in this case, list, dictionary. What are these dictionary? Don't worry about that, we will look at a later stage. Here, integer, float, right, maybe string, right, you cannot modify it. This is the concept of mutability and immutability. Now you must be wondering, why are we going to study this? Why we have studied this? Right? What is the application of this? Right? What is the application of this? Right? We have a lot of application of this concept, mutability and immutability. Right? I will give you a very simple example from whatever work I do. Right. So for example, right, I will give you a very simple example. Right. So let's say, try to understand. So we are having some flow. Let's say we are having some flow of the code. Right. What is the flow of the code? Right. Very simple. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Right. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Right. Now what will happen? Let's say at step 1, a variable that is a is equals to ram, or let's say name ram. Name, let's say maybe name of the service or something like that. Name ram is there. Right. Or anything, whatever you feel to like. Right. Now this is the flow of the code. This variable a had name and ram. Now when it came to step 2, right, in the same code, in the same script, now let's say this has been updated something like this. Name, then now instead of only ram, now we have also Syam. Right. Again, at step 3, let's say the same name has been updated. Let's say, for example, Ram, Syam, and let's say Mohan. Right. This is only possible if your data structure, whatever data structure you are using, is actually mutable. You can change the values. Is it clear, everyone? So far so good. Right. This is the understanding. Right. Anyone has any other questions to ask so far? Right. People who are paid, if you are not getting the chat option, you can chat, you can drop the message on the YouTube. So I will be just enabling the chat whenever I get some time. So don't worry about that. Right. Don't worry about that. Right. Anyone has any questions so far? Quickly. Right? Right? Okay. So let's now move ahead to the next topic that we have for the day is operators. Operators. Right. So we are again going deep into these operators. Right. This is an easy concept, but we are going to dive deep into the operators topic. Right. So we are going to dive deep into operators and see everything in detail. Right. 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 So should we start, guys? Operators, yes or no? Right. 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 So we will start with operators. Everyone. Right. Whoever is not able to chat, please subscribe the channel, then you might get a chat option. Please, anyone, whoever is not able to, get the chat option, please just subscribe it. You will get the chat option as well. Right. So now, guys, let's move ahead towards operators. So what are operators? So first of all, I will give you every detail about the operators, and then we will move ahead slowly. We will understand operators in detail, right? So let's start, guys, with operators. First thing, what are Python operators, right? So I will just make a bigger statement here, bigger flowchart, Python operators, right? Right, Python operators. So let's try to look at it. First thing, very easy. There are different types of Python operators. First one is arithmetic operators. Right. Arithmetic operators. Second one is comparison operators. Then third one would be logical operators. Then we are going to look at bitwise operators. Right. Then we are going to have assignment operators. Right. Then we will be having membership operators. And then we will also be having identity operators. Right. So all of these operators we are going to look at in the depth. Right. So what are these operators? What are the examples? Right. Which operators to be used when? So everything we are going to look at in detail. But before that, just let me ask you one simple question. Right? If someone asks you what is operator, then what would be your answer, guys? Just think it. If someone asks you what is operator, what would be your answer? Right. What would be your answer, guys? Quickly. If someone asks you operator, then what would be your answer? Anyone? Right. Anyone can answer this? What is operator? Quickly. Anyone? Right. Anyone? Can you answer this? What is operator? Right. What is operator? Very good. Few of you guys are answering. So operators helps us to perform some operations. Right. What are the operations? Right. There can be multiple operations, right? There can be, any operations, any calculations that you want to do, right? So you can just do some operations, right? Whatever you want to, right? Using Python. Right? So if I have to define something in operator, simple say that operations using operations in Python, right? Operations in Python. You can do using Python operators. But how to define the operators? So let's move ahead and look at how we can define the operator. So if I have to ask you a question, what is operator? Right? Kya hai operator? What is operator? What is operator? What is operator? So let's say if I have asked this. So special keywords to perform operations. So this is your operators. But why do we need it? That's the question. Why do we need operators? Right. Now, that is the major question. Why do we need operators? Why? Right. Very simple. You need operators to manipulate the data. Right. Manipulate the data. Have you ever seen any ghost movie? Right. If you guys have seen any ghost movie, right, what happens then? Let's say we have Monjolika, right? So Monjolika. If Monjolika is a ghost, right, then what are the signs of she being a ghost? Right. First symbol, she will be having very big, hair. I'm not saying that anyone else, normal person cannot have a big hair, but let's say very, very big hair. That can be first thing. Maybe after that, she will be having thick pile, right? Something like that, right? She will roam in the dark, right? Something like that, right? So this particular whole thing will give you a feeling that, okay, you are in front of Monjolika. But why do we code? So now once you are doing a code, right? Why are we doing code? We are doing code to actually manipulate the data. And to manipulate the data, so let's say this is one of the thing that you want, some environment that you want to manipulate the data. And to manipulate the data, you need some tools, right? And one of the tools is operator. What is operator? Just to manipulate the data. Something, a special keyword to perform operations to manipulate the data. That's the whole idea, right? Now, obviously this example was not, exactly, making sense, but let's say this is the understanding. Now, we have understood that there are multiple operators. Very good, there are multiple operators. First one, let's start with arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operator. So what is arithmetic operator? So let's say if you have a is equals to 5, b is equals to 6, right? A is equals to 5 and b equals to 6. Simple. So this symbol a plus b is your arithmetic operator. So if you just do a plus b, then it will give you the addition of two numbers, right? Again, I will repeat it. People who are attending from the dashboard, and if you are not getting a chat option, right, just subscribe the channel and you will be able to add things, or you can chat in the you can chat there, right? That's the thing. Now this is your arithmetic add operator, first thing. Now guys, the same thing can be done like this also. Directly you can also add. So let's say b plus a, something like that, or 6 plus 2, you can directly do that. 6 plus 3, that is your addition operator. Now next operator is subtraction. So 20 minus 3. So if you just do 20 minus 3, that is 17. So this is your subtraction operator. So subtraction, and this is your addition. This is your addition operator. So addition, subtraction. Now let's say division operator. So what will be the division operator? So 20 divided by 4. If you just do this, then you will get 5. So this is your division operator. Now comes modulus operator. So let's say modulus operator, modulus operator, modulus operator. Right. So let's say if you just write modulus operator, what will be the modulus operator? So let's say here, whatever remainder you have, it will give you the remainder. So for example, 18 or let's say 19, right? Modulo, right? Let's say 3, right? So it will give you 1, right? Now, the next operator is power operator or exponential operator. So for example, let's say 2 power 3. So 2 into 2 into 3, 2. So here it will be something like that. So this means, right? This means 2 to power 3. That's it. So it becomes 2 into 2 into 2. So it will give you 8. Right. Now let's execute this. So now if you execute this, this becomes, right, this will be here 8. Right. This is the understanding. Then we have something called floor operator. So for example, let's say 4, right, by 3. Right. So this is your floor operator, or also called as integer division, integer division, integer division, or sometimes people also call as floor operator, whatever you want to say. So what will happen? 4 divided by 3, it will not give you any other thing in decimals. Simply it will give you integer value. See here 1. Right. Even if you just write, let's say 12, right? See here 3 4s are 12. So you will get a integer number. This is the understanding. So if you see now, what were the arithmetic operator? So we have seen addition, subtraction, all of those things. Now let's move ahead with comparison operator. So comparison operator, comparison operator, right? Comparison operator. Now what is comparison operator? So you have to compare. Let's say you want to compare two values. You want to compare two values, right? Two values, right? If you compare two values, you will return to a Boolean value. So compare two value and it will return to a Boolean value. Return to a Boolean value. Return to a Boolean value. For example, let's say if you are comparing 2 is equals to 2. So this is your comparison operator. So what are you guys doing here? You are comparing. So this is the comparison operator. Guys, let me know if I am moving fast, right? Please do let me know if I am moving fast. People who are, attending from the dashboard, please go to the YouTube link and you can just comment out there, right? From the next class, I will enable the chat as well from the dashboard itself, not a problem, right? I just forgot to enable the chat, right? But if I am moving fast, do let me know, right? So now if you, let's say 2 is equals to 2, then what would be the result here? In this case, it will be actually true. Right? So here you are comparing the values. Now again, let's say if you are 2 is not equals to 2. So let's say here 2 is not equals to 2, right? So 2 is not equals to 2. If you are just writing like this, 2 is not equals to 2. So what it will give you? It will give you false. Why? Because it is actually true, because both are same. Again, there are some other ways also. So for example, if you want to check 10 is greater than 2, what will happen here? So it will show you true or false again, and it will give you true. Right. If you want to check 10 is greater than equals to 18, right? So again, it will give you false. Right. But again, if you just write 5 is greater than equals to 5, then in this case, what will happen? This will give you true. Right. So that is the understanding. So again, let's say if you have 10 is less than equals to 10, maybe. Right. In this case, what will happen? It will give you true. Right. Again, let's say 10 is greater than equals to 12. 10 is greater than equals to 12. In this case, what will happen? It will give you false. Right. It will give you false. So this is actually your different types of operators. And in this operator, first we saw arithmetic and now we saw comparison operator. Right. Now we have saw comparison operator. Right. Now moving ahead, guys. Right. We are now going to see at logical operator. What is the logical operator? So let's move ahead to logical operator. So logical operator. Logical operator. Now this is again going to be fun. What is logical operator? Right. So to understand this logical operator, what we can do, right? We have to understand few things. Already you might have understood this in your different maybe in your school days or college days. We'll talk about this, but it's very easy to understand. I will also talk about how to remember this. But anyway, here already I have written all type of operators. So we have covered arithmetic operator, comparison operator. So now we are at logical operator. Now already I haven't written any definition of operator, but if I have to define the operator, just I can say that special keywords slash symbols that are used to perform operations on values or variables. Very good. It's not a problem. Very good. So far so good. Now comes logical operator. This is going to be fun. Right. What is logical operator? Right. Logical operator. So now in logical operator we have, let's say, and, or, something like that. This is going to be fun. So what is and or? So let's try to understand this. So let's say we have and, right? And so let's say now here we have or, right? And or, right? So this is going to be very easy. I will also talk about how to remember this. So let's say you have true and true. It will give you true. Right? True and true will give you true. True and false will give you false. False and true will give you false. And then false and false will give you false. Right. Now, similarly in or, what happens in or? So here, true or true. This is like true. Right. True or false, this is your true. Again, false or true, you will get true. False or false, you will get false. Right. Very simple to remember. Right. Very simple to remember. In AND condition, if both is true, then only true. Right. And in OR condition, if both is false, then only false. This is the understanding. But even if you want to remember, if you just miss it out, so what is this and? This is case 1, right? No one gets offended. It's a very easy thing, right? What do you want in your partner, right? So suppose I am going to get married, or for that matter, anyone who wants to get married, be it a boy or be it a girl, right? I feel like I need both things. First, financial stability. So he or she should have money, right? So money, then obviously beauty, right? True for everyone. Don't get offended. Be it a boy or girl, it is true for both of them, right? Now, if both are there, right, money and looks, then I am going to get married. Otherwise, in any of the case, I will not get married. Right? Simple. Right? But let's say if you are very satisfying, you don't care about money or beauty. You think that okay, if any one thing is there, I am going to get married. That's your case 2. right? You say that even if there is money or if there is a beauty, I am going to get married. So that is your OR condition, just to remember thing, right? And nothing else, right? This is the first thing. Second thing, you already know. Now I guess you might not forget this anytime. Now, second thing, right? True is actually 1 and false is actually 0 in Python. Same thing if you just write it something like this, and then OR. So 1 and 1, this becomes 1. 1 and 0 becomes 0. 0 and 1 becomes 0. 0 and 0 becomes 0. Similarly here, 1 or 1 becomes 1. 1 or 0 becomes 1. 0 or 1 becomes 1. And 0 or 0 becomes 0. This is the understanding. So now this is your logical operator. Now let's try to look at, right, with the implementation perspective, right? So far so good. Anyone has any questions so far? Everyone enjoying? Yes or no? Quickly, right? Anyone has any questions, please do let me know. Right. So now, moving ahead, logical operator. Right. So for example, let's say you have true and true. True and true. So if you just write true and true, this is your true. Right. This is your true. Because 1 and 1. But the moment you write true and false, right? So if you write true and false, the moment you write true and false, it will give you false, right? Then again, let's say false and true, right? False and true, right? If you just do it like this, then it is false, right? Again, false and false. Let's say false and false. What will give you? They will give you false, right? Guys, you should also write parallelly in the chat, right? Please do write in the chat. So now, moving ahead. So let's say you have true or false. So true or false, right? True or false. What is the value? It is true. Right. Now again, false or true. False or true. If you just write this, then this is true. Right. True or false? True or false. Right. This is your again true. Right. Now again. Now moving ahead, so we have not operator as well. Not operator. So not operator, let's say not true. Not true. What it will give you? If it is not true, then obviously this is going to be false. Now let's say not false, then it will be true. Right? So this is the understanding of operators. And, or, and not operator. These are the logical operators. Now you must be wondering, what is the use cases of this operator? So use cases, right? Use cases. How do you use in real life? Use cases in real life, right? How you use this? Right. Use cases in real life, right? First, arithmetic operator. You guys already know arithmetic operator. Right. What happens in arithmetic operator? Right. You do any calculation, right? You do any calculation using arithmetic operator. You don't need to know what is the industry use case. Comparison operator, right? Comparison operator, right? Comparison operator. To compare things. Right? Compare things. So what happens, guys? Many a time when you will write a big code, or let's say some code pipeline, right? You will be having multiple conditions, and in those conditions you have to compare. So for example, let's say whether is equals to something. You have taken an input from a user, right? Let's say you have taken an input from a user. Now what will happen? You will write some logic like this. If whether is equals to rainy I will print, I will have tea with Monjolika. Right? What is this? Right? This is your comparison operator, and this is not a dummy example. Actually, moving forward, whenever you will be writing a project, these type of things you will be using. Right? These type of things you will be using. Now, this was your comparison operator. So let's say now, next example. So for example, we have logical operator. So let's say logical operator. Logical operator. What is this logical operator? What is the use case of this logical operator? Right. So whenever, again, you are having multiple conditions, then you will use logical operator. Right. For example, if weather is equals to summer or sunny, right, and bat is equals to present. If you have bat and the weather is sunny, print, I will go to play cricket. Obviously, how to write this type of statements, you don't need to worry about that, because we are going to talk about conditionals. These are the use cases of all the operators that we have seen so far. But one operator, I don't know why, actually, this bitwise operator, as a data scientist, rarely you will use. This is used in, if you are an embedded developer, right, from semiconductor industry, then most probably you are going to use this bitwise operator, right? But we will be talking about this, but rarely as a data scientist, you will use this bitwise operator. But I will talk about this. No need to worry about that, right? Now moving ahead, so let's move ahead with the next operator, that is your assignment operator. So assignment operator. Let's try to look at assignment operator as well. So for example, let's say if you have A is equals to 10, right? If you have A equals to 10, what is the meaning of this equals to? This is nothing but assignment operator. So now if you just put it like this is the value, that is 10. Now let's say if you want to add some value, A plus 5, what will happen? This will become 15. Right. This will become 15. Now here what we have done, we have taken A equals to 10, the value is 10, and then again adding 5 to this 10. So there were two steps. Right? So what were the steps? A is equals to 10, first step, then A is equals to A plus 10, or let's say A plus 5, then you got to have the value that is 15. Very good, not a problem. Now, can I do both of these steps in one go? Can I do so? The answer is yes. We can do both of the steps in one go. How? Right. Very simple. So A plus equals to, let's say 12. Right. So what will happen here now? See here, A value, it will be 27. Why? 15 plus 12 has now become 27. And that's how you can do this. Now, what is the working principle? How it is working actually? So if you think it, right, it's very easy, right? So here what is happening, right? First, A plus equals to, this is the value. Right? In Python, always the execution happens from the left side. Execution will happen from the left side, something like this. Execution will happen from the left side. So A plus equals to, right? This is the thing. Now what will happen? Right. First of all, A is 15. A is equals to 15. We already have this value, that the value is 15. Now in this 15, you have to add 12. So 15 plus 12. See it carefully, guys. Very, very important. So A is 15. 15 plus 12. This is the first thing. So you have added the value 12. Then, once you have added the value 12, then assign the value again back to 12. Sorry, A. This is the understanding. Right. I will repeat it again. Very simple. Right. Here, so A was 15. First step. First of all, you have to add 15 plus 12. So 15 plus 12. 15 plus 12. Done. So this value becomes 27. Now, once 27 is done, you will assign back to value A, and that's why you get the value 27. Right. So this is the understanding. Right. Now, moving ahead. Very good so far. So now, can we have something like this again? Let's say A is equals to 2. Let's say A is equals to 2. And now you want to multiply something. How to multiply? A multiplied. This asterisk symbol, whatever you call it as, some people call as, star. So A asterisk 5. This will give you 5 to the 10. Can I do the same way? Increment, then assign with multiplication? The answer is yes. How can you do that? Very simple. A asterisk equals to, let's say here 10 is there, right? So here you can just write 4. So here let's say CA now. So here 2 was there. 2 multiplied by 4. So I will again write it here. So 2 was there. 2 multiplied by 4. So multiplied by 4. Then again assigned to A. That is 8. 8 is assigned to value A. This is the understanding. Now you must be thinking, Ajay, sir, why are we doing so? What is the reason behind having this type of operations? Very simple, guys. Right. Very simple. Right. Because instead of writing 2 lines of code, you are able to do in just 1 line. It looks beautiful. Right. Can you do the same thing with division? The answer is yes. We can do the same thing with the division as well. Right. How? So you can simply write A divided by equals to 3. Let's say here. Now see A. So division and then again assignment to A. You can do in a similar way. So now, what is the use case? What is the use case of assignment operator? We have also done this. So logical done, assignment. What is the use case of assignment operator? Right. Assignment operator. Right. Assignment operator. To assign any value. To assign any value to the data. Value to the data. That's the understanding. Yes, Jyoti, please ask the question on the text. Right. Jyoti, when multiply 5 IT is 10. I didn't understood that question. Right. Whatever you are writing. Maybe we can discuss in the last. She is asking 5 IT into IT is 10. No. So you have to write here 5 asterisk 2. That is 10. Right. I don't know what you are writing. So maybe we'll see this at a later stage. But this is assignment operator done. Now moving ahead, we have membership operator. Membership operator. Right. So what is this membership operator? Okay. No, Jyoti, if you see it carefully, this value was not reassigned. Value still is 2. It was not reassigned here. It was not reassigned. A is equals to 2. The value was here itself. right? If you would have reassigned, then you would have told that, okay, this is like, 10 into some value. So it was not reassigned. Okay. Now comes, guys, membership operator. Membership operator. So this is going to be more fun. Membership operator. What is this membership operator? Very easy, right? Many of the students here are paid, right? Right. So you guys are the member of CareerCraft, right? It means, right, you guys will be given some special treatment, right? Right. You will be having different projects, right? Industrial use cases. You will be having doubt solving sessions separate, right? So membership operator simply means, right, whenever something is a member of some sequence or data structure. Now, for example, let's say here we have A is equals to some name. So let's say here CareerCraft. Now, if you want to check if C is present in this or not, so what you can do? C in A. It is present or not, guys? The answer is yes, it is present. But what if you write Z in A? Z in A. What do you think? It is present or not? It is not present, so it will give you false. Right? It will give you false. Right? This is the understanding. Guys, many of you are saying break. So guys, should we take a break of 5 minutes? Yes or no? Should we take a break of 5 minutes? Quickly. Okay. So let's take 5 minutes of break and then again we will restart. So we will take a 5 minutes of break. So let's start, guys. Now again back to the operators, right? So let's start again, right? Now we will again start with operators and then slowly move towards conditionals, because conditionals is very important topic, right? So in conditionals today you will get to know how to design let's say form, right? If you want to design a survey form, how can you design that? So it is going to be more fun, right? So let's start with other things. So for example, Z in A, you got it false. So let's say same thing you can also implement in a form of bigger strings. So for example, let's say study in. So here you can just write I study in data science. I study in data science. Right. So here the word study is present in this particular string. Then you can say that okay, fine, it will give you some true. So that's the true. Opposite of this is not in. So what you can do this? So here you can just write not in. So if you just write here not in, then it will give you actually false, right? Because it is available, right? So both in and not in operator is we have said. Now right. Now moving ahead, so we have understood about these operators, right? Let's see other operator, that is identity operator, right? So to look after identity operator, first of all, again go back to this. So we have seen membership operator as well. So what is the membership operator use case, right? What is the use case of membership operator, right? Membership operator, right? Whenever again you are trying to look after a particular string, if present in a sequence or not, right? In that case, what you will do? You will use membership operator, right? Some value check, right? Some value check. This all type of operators you will be working whenever we will be designing some small mini project, something like that, right? So now let's move ahead with the identity operator. What is this identity operator? Right. So let's talk about identity operator now. So let's see identity operator, right? So what is this identity operator? So basically it compares the memory location of two objects, right? So compares the memory location of two objects. This is your identity operator. You don't need to worry about that even if you don't understand this, but it is very easy, right? So let's see about this. So for example, let's say A is equals to 2, right? And now let's say B is equals to 3. So let's try to see this. Now A is 3 and B is 3. Now if you just do A is B, what will you get? So you will get false, right? Why? The simple reason that A is pointing to 2 and B is pointing to 3, right? Again, I will come to this again at a later stage when we will be starting about the data structure. I could be showing something like this, right? Something like this. So ID of A, then I will be showing like this, ID of B, and you will realize these are two different numbers. What is this IDs and all of those things? You don't need to worry as of now. I will show this in data structure once again. But as of now, understand a very simple thing. Both of them are pointing to some other variable. And that's why you are getting false. But let's say here, if I just write A is equals to Ajay. If write A is equals to Ajay and then you write B is equals to A. and then you do A is B, you will get true, because both are now pointing to the same memory reference. Opposite of this is or is also A is not, right? You can also use A is not, it should give you false, it has given you false. That's the understanding. Now guys, the last operator, right, identity operator, right, to compare the memory location or memory reference. Identity operator, compare the memory reference. The memory reference. This is the understanding. Now comes the last operator, that is your assignment operator. So this is again going to be fun. What is assignment operator? So we are going to look at this as well. Sorry, assignment I am saying, assignment we have already done it, my bad. Bitwise operator. So this is going to be again fun. Right. So let's move ahead to bitwise operator. So first of all, what is bitwise operator? Right, bitwise operator. What is this bitwise operator? Bitwise operator. Right. Bitwise operator. Operations at bit level. Right. Obviously, you understand what is bit. Right. So basically, bit simply means in binary number, 1, 0, something like that. So any number, whatever number you have, can be represented in binary values, that is 1 and zeros. Right. How it is done? Right. So we have some mathematical operations to do so. I will just show you as well. So bitwise representation. So what is bitwise representation? I will just show you. Right. So let's say we have some numbers. So I'll just write it here. Bitwise representation. Bitwise representation. Right. Bitwise representation. Now, let's say how to convert any number into bitwise. Right. So what you have to do? You have to simply write here 2 to power 0. Then you have to write 2 to power 1, 2 to power 2, 2 to power 3. Right. You just write it like this. 2 to power 0, 2 to power 1, 2 to power 2, 2 to power 3. First of all, let's try to understand, right, what is bitwise representation of any number, whatever hexadecimal number you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Right. Now, what you can do? So for 1, just write 2 to power 0, that is 1. That's it. And the rest will be 0, 0, 0. So the bitwise representation of 1 is nothing but 2 to power 0, that is 1. So 0, 0, 0, 1. This is the representation of 1. To represent 2 in bits, what you can do? Just again 2 to power 1, that is 2, right? And the rest thing all 0. So this is the representation of 2. Similarly 3, right? How will you get 3? So 3 is nothing but 2 plus 1, right? So here I have written 2, so it will just 1. So 2 plus 1. So wherever 2 plus 1 is there, so 2 to power 0, 1, just write 1 and 2 here. So here you will write 1, rest everything will be 0, right? And now finally 4, this will be 2 square, right? Then this becomes here 1 and all of these things will be 0. This is the representation. This is the way you represent everything in bits, that is binaries, zeros, ones, right? Now what will happen? All of the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the numbers can be represented in this form. Now you must be thinking, do you need to remember this? The answer is no. You don't need to remember this, guys. You don't need to remember this. Right? You don't need to remember this. First thing. But using this, right? Right. We have some operations, AND operations, OR operations, negation, all of these things, right? We are going to see. XOR operation, right? Many people say Johor. So all of these operations we are going to look at, right? So let's try to look at, right, quickly. So for example, first thing, right? First thing, you have understood how to, look at the binaries numbers, right? So let's say here AND operation. So 10 and, let's say 10 and 10. This is your bitwise operation. So 10 and 10, right? What will you get? So let's say you got 10, right? So let's say you have again something 16 and 3. What you got? 0. Right? But how to understand this? Right? So 10 and 10 you got 10, 16 and 3 you got 0. What is the meaning of this? Right? So to understand this, you need to know binaries of each number. To know the binaries of each number, you have to just write bin of 10. Right? So once you write bin of 10, it will be some value like this. Right? Bin of 10, you will like this, right? Like value like this. Right? Bin of 10 is 0B1010, something like that. Right? Now, this is AND operation, right? AND operation. So you have AND operation. So AND. So just write 1010 and 1010. Very easy. Now what is AND operation? Do you remember guys, AND operation? I had showed you. If you guys remember, AND operation was nothing. I will just go ahead. Where is AND? So AND here is, if 1 and 1 is there, then only it will be true. Otherwise, at every place, it will be 0. That is the understanding. Easy, right? Simple. So यहाँ पे, what will happen now here in this case? So let's say 1 and 1, 1, 1 and 1, 1, rest this 0, and this is again a binary representation of 10, and that's why you see 10. Easy to understand. Right? Very easy to understand. Right? Now, moving ahead, finally you have understood this. So now, let's say, this is the first understanding. Now 16 and 3. So let's try to understand 16 and 3. So bin of 16. So bin of 16. If you write bin of 16, this is this value. And now let's say bin of 3. Bin of 3. So let's say bin of 3. It is this. Right. And now what you are getting? Bin of 0. So that is 0. So let's say bin of some value like 0. Right. 0. It is 0B0. Right. Now what will happen guys here? Right. What will happen guys here? Very easy. So first of all, write it 1 0 0 0 0. Something like this. Now 1 1. Write is here 1 1 0 0 0. Everything will be 0. And that's why the binary representation is 0. So 0B you can just ignore. It stands for binary. Right. These are the numbers. Right. You can ignore this. These are the numbers. Right. So that's the idea. Right. Now you can just play with it. You can try n number of combination. Try to look after that. Right. So this was about AND. So maybe let's see OR. So let's say 3 or 6. Right. That is 7. Now again, see the binary of 3. Binary of 3 is something like this one. Binary of 6 will be some value, and then finally you can see the binary of 7. Binary of 7, right? Bin of 7. Now you can just look after what does OR operation do. and compare the same thing as you have seen till now. So that is the understanding. Now, and or done, because or already I have described it here, and or already we have seen it. Right. Now moving ahead, so let's look after negation. Right. What is this negation? So let's try to look at negation. Right. Negation. Right. What is this negation? Right. So this symbol tilde is called as negation. What is the meaning of negation? Whatever number you write, it will give one lesser than that particular value or one more than. So for example, you have it in 3. So first it will add symbol minus and then one value more. So minus, this negation of 3 will give you minus 4, something like that. This is the negation. Right. Again, if you want to look at, let's say, tilde 100, right, it will give you minus 101. Right. This is the understanding. Now, let's say we have XOR. Right. So bitwise XOR. Bitwise XOR. What is this bitwise XOR? Again, you might have understood this. So let's say here bitwise XOR. Let's try to look at this as well. So return 1 when exactly one operand is 1. Right. Return 1 when exactly one operand is 1. Right. So what is this XOR? Right. So let's try to look at this. What is this XOR? Right. So for example, XOR. I will just write it here. XOR. Right. So for example, let's say A, B, and we have A and B, something like this. Right. Now, let's say 0, 0. Right. Then what is the value here? 0 and 0. So this XOR operation, right? 0 XOR 0 will be 0. Because why? You need to have exactly one operand to be 1. Exactly one operand to be 1. Now here again, let's say 1, right? Then 0. So since 1 is there, exactly 1, then this will be 1. Again 0, 1, again 1, again 1, 1, again 0. This is your XOR operation. This is your XOR operation. Now again go ahead, try to implement this. So XOR operation. Now how to do in Python? 5 XOR. So this cap, so 5 cap 3. So this will give you 6. Now how to do that? Bin of 5. Just write bin of 5. So here you will get some value. Then you have bin of 3. You will get some value. Right. Now the same logic that we have discussed, right? Then you can have the XOR values. Right. This is the understanding. Right. Now the last operation in bitwise is the shift operation. Right. Shift, bit shift. So shift operation in bit operator. So left shift, it is of 2 types, left shift and right shift. Left shift and right shift. Now what is this left shift and right shift? Right. So we will try to look after this again. So what is left shift and right shift? So what is this left shift? If I have to write it here, left shift. Right. Put number of zeros on the right side. On the right side. So for example, right. So we have, let's say, 25. So 25 left shift. So this is the symbol of left shift. 25 left shift, and then we have, let's say, 3. Very easy. 25 left shift 3. So what will happen, guys, in this case? The value you are getting is 200. But how are you getting 200? Right? How are you getting 200? So let's see first binary of 25. So binary of 25, this value is this. Then what you can do? Just put this value, right? So 2, 5, right? So basically before that also, I will just write here, binary of 200, binary of 200, so that I can show you. So let's say 200 is this. Now, if you see it carefully, how it is happening. So 25 had this value 11001. Good, right? Now, how many number of zeros you want to put? 3. So you can just write 1, 2, 3 zeros. Now this is nothing but this particular value, that is of 200. That's the idea. That's the idea. Right? Right. This is the understanding. Right. 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 Now, again, this is about left shift. Again, similarly, you can have another example. 4 shift, let's say 1. You will get some value. Try to find the bin and then compare the value. Now the next one is, this was left shift. Then we have something called right shift operator. What is this right shift operator? Right. So remove the number of elements. Remove the number of elements in the binary. Elements in the binary. Binary. Right. Binary. How you can remove this? I will talk about that. Right. So very easy. Right. So let's say you have 200, and this time, right, this time you have this symbol, right, this symbol, right, this symbol 203. What is the value you are getting? You are getting 25. Right. So let's see bin of 200. So if you see bin of 200, you will get some values. So let's say bin of 200. This is the value. Now bin of, again, let's say 25. So you will have this value. Now what will happen, guys, if you see? So you have to remove the number of elements in the binary. Now what is happening here? If you see 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros has been removed, and this particular value is nothing but this, and this comes from 24. This comes from 25. Right. So this is the understanding. Right. This is the understanding. Right. Right. Now, very good. So I have now almost completed the operators. So this operator, bitwise operator, also has been completed. To summarize, we started with the concepts of mutability, then we came to Python operators, and in Python operators we have covered everything, right? We have covered everything. I guess this would be so far the most extensive coverage of operators, right, on internet or on YouTube, maybe, I don't know. So we have covered arithmetic, comparison, logical, bitwise, assignment, membership, identity, with all the use cases. Bitwise operator use case is used in embedded softwares. If you are working in semiconductor, working with any chip or something like that, then you will be using this bitwise operator. As a data scientist, you will rarely use, right? Arithmetic operator for the calculation, comparison if you want to compare anything in any condition, logical operator similarly if you are writing some conditional statements, assignment in the computation if you assign some values to some variable, then you have membership operations, you want to know if some data is present in any data structure or not, you will use membership operator, and then finally identity operator, which we are going to discuss at a later stage again once more, to compare the memory reference of two variables. This is the complete understanding of operators. Right. Is it clear, everyone? Did you guys enjoy this everyone, yes or no? Because next we are going to have something called order of precedence. Order of precedence. Order of precedence. So we have covered operators. Now we are going to have orders of precedence. So far so good, everyone? Yes or no? Right? Everyone is happy till now? Should I move ahead? Right. So in your childhood days, you might have learned this thing, right? You need to multiply, division, right? Do you guys remember? First you need to have a small bracket, right? Board mass, something like this, right? I don't know how many of you remember this, right? Let's forget this, even I don't remember exactly, but I remember bracket of division, right? All of those things, right? In your childhood days, you might have, seen it, right? Everyone agrees to this, right? Everyone agrees to this. Very good, right. Now, right. Now, so far so good, right. Now, how actually Python executes thing, that we need to know. And to know this, I will just open Google and just show you something. Python order of precedence. Order of precedence. Right. Python order of precedence. Right. So I'll show you some image. Right. Okay. So this is the image. Right. I will just copy this image. I am just taking image from any random website. So let's say this is the image that I am taking, or I will just take any other image. Right. Okay. I will just take another image. So copy image. Now I am just taking this image and I will just put it here. Right. So this is the order of precedence of a Python function. Right. Python, statements or Python code, whatever you write. So if you see, first thing, always remember, this will be given the most priority. This will be given the most priority, right? This will be given the most priority, right? And this will be executed from left to right. Everything in Python will always be executed from left to right. Right. After that, this will be given importance. But one thing, if you see carefully, right, whenever this is prefix increment, decrement, unary, plus, minus, here it has been written right to left. Right. In addition to this, if you have exponential like this, 2 asterisk asterisk 3 asterisk asterisk 2, again it will increase from right to left. Always remember this. This is one exception. Right. Apart from this, if you see everything, all of these things, you will see left to right. Right. Other things you don't need to worry about this ternary operator or this particular operator. You don't need to remember this. Don't worry about that. Right. Actually, this is a exhaustive list, but you don't need to worry about that. And to be honest, you don't need to even remember. Why? Right. No one is going to ask in the interview. First thing. Second thing, if you want to check, right, it is executing between left to right, then what you can do? Simply execute the code. Done. Right. So, in a general, if I have to write things in a general way, then I can just write order of execution. Order of execution will be from left. Will start from left. And the bracket will be given almost the highest priority. So for example, Let's say 3 plus 2, 3 plus 2 minus 4, right? So this will give you 5 minus 4, that is 1. That's the understanding. Another example, let's say you have 10 plus 2, right? And then plus, then you have, let's say 8 divided by some 3 value. What will happen? First it will add this, then it will divide this, then it will add this particular thing. So this is the thing. So you don't need to remember this, to be very honest. You don't need to memorize this. Never try to memorize. Just trust me, no one is going to ask you this in interview. What is the, what will be executed first? This one, or this one? No, no one is going to ask you. Right. So this is the understanding. So if I move ahead with our today's agenda, so we have covered mutability and immutability, operators with all use cases, how it is used and how you will be using as a coder. Now next thing that we move ahead is the conditionals. So we are going to look at the conditionals now. What are the conditionals? We are going to look at slowly. So let's see it. What is conditional? Now again, I guess guys, let's take 5 more minutes of break, because already we have covered the important topics. So more 5 minutes of break, and then we will start with conditionals with the same energy. So let's take a 5 minutes of break. So let's start, guys, now. Right. Everyone back. So far we have completed about all the operators, right? We have completed all the operators, and then we are going to look at now conditionals, right? What are conditionals? Right. How it is useful, right? We are going to see everything in detail, right? So we are going to see everything in detail, right? So let's start slowly, right? Everyone back? Yes or no? Quickly. Right. Yes or no, guys? Quickly. Right. So let's start, guys. Everyone is back. So let's start. First thing, right? What is conditional? What is conditional? So we will start with that, right? And slowly we will move ahead, right? Alright. So let's start. Conditionals. So guys, have you ever, right? Used ATM, right? You might have used ATM. What if I say the real world application of conditionals are ATM? Have you gone to a restaurant or any bar? You might have seen online menu, the app one, right? On the menu on the app, right? Menu on the app, right? What do you think? Can I say this is another application? Right? This is another application of conditionals, right? I can give you a lot of examples. Survey, right? Have you filled a survey form? Right? This is another application of conditionals. But now you might have, you might be thinking, Ajay, that is completely fine. You have given a lot of example. But what is this conditional? Right? What is this conditional? Right? What is this conditional? Right. So to understand this, again we will go to the same analogy that we have seen. Right. What is the analogy? Right. If you guys remember, what was the analogy? Right. What was the analogy? If you guys remember, right. Analogy was very simple, right? The way you laugh. So whenever someone is born, right? So first thing they learn ABC. First, obviously laugh, then learn ABC. Then let's say word, apple, ball, right? And then after that, I eat apple. Something like this. I eat apple. Something like this. Right. This happens. Similarly now, till now what we have seen in programming language, right? We have seen data type, which was actually ABC, right? Then we saw operators, right? Then we saw syntax, little bit of syntax, right? Now actually we are going into statements. So conditional is a type of statement. Conditional is a type of statement. Right. Conditional is a type of statement. Also sometimes called as flow control. Many people call it as a flow control. Right? In flow control, you have two things. First, so flow control is a bigger umbrella. Flow control. Right? What is the meaning of flow? What is the meaning of control? I will talk about this, everything. You don't need to worry about that. So we have two things. Flow control. Right? Right. A lot of people call it as a flow control. Right. So now, flow control, right? It is of two types. Right. Right. First one is conditionals. Right. First one is conditionals. 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 So flow control is, one type is conditionals. Right. Right. Second one is loops. Loops. Right. Right. Now, very good. Loops we are going to look at a later stage. Right. Tomorrow. This is planned for tomorrow's class. Right. Conditionals we have planned for today. What is this conditional statements? So we are going to see this in detail. Right. So let's start. Right. Let's start. Right. So what is a conditional statement? Right. 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 So one thing, flow control. This is still pending. What is flow control? So if I can say what is flow control? Flow means, just remember, this is code. Flow is talking about code. Whatever code you are writing, this is flow. Just understand in very simple word. Right. This is flow. If you are controlling the code in some way, then this is called as flow control. And this is done using two ways. First one is conditionals and second one is loops. Now, what are the conditional? Right. In your life, you might have made some type of statements like this. Right. Some statements like this. Conditional. Right. You might have made this statement. Right. 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 If father is rich, right, I will go to Bali or I will go to Thailand, let's say. Right. Or you might have made this type of a statement. Right. Right. If, right. Right. Some type of statement. This statement is general. In real life, you might have made. Right. If weather is sunny. Let's say if weather is sunny, I will go and play cricket. Will go to play cricket. You might have used this type of statement. Right. If beta nalayak, Papa will not give all sampatti. Right. Right. ऐसा सब स्टेटमेंट तो बनाया ही हुआ कभी ना कभी. You might have used this statement. Right. 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 This is real world statements. Right. This is real world statement. Now. Right. 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 We will first start with conditionals and then we'll go to loops. Right. Right. But since I am talking about conditionals, then one more statement I will make. Right. 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 Something like this. I will keep checking out dishes until all the dishes are over in a buffet. Are over in a buffet. Right. This is called as loops. This is your conditional, this is your loops. Right. What is a loop? Right. What is a loop? Right. Right. Again, loop has also a very good application. Right. Loop we will be seeing in the next class. I am just giving you, since the flow statements is of two types. First one is conditional, second one is loops. That's why a little bit giving, some idea what is the loops and what is conditionals. So conditionals, some condition. Conditionals are also known as branching. You are branching things. Branching. Right. You are branching things. Right. Right. Loops. So if I ask you, what is a loop? So I can say that our life is a loop. Right. We wake up daily, eat, get freshen up, go to office, come back, sleep, again wake up next day, eat, go to office, something like that. So this is a loop. Your whole life is a loop. Right? Right? Right. So let's say if you go to a buffet, what will happen? There will be some chicken tikka. So let's say buffet. Right? Here we are having chicken tikka. Right? Chicken tikka. So let's say here we are having chicken butter masala. Right? Some, let's say, paneer, tikka, something like this. Right? There will be a lot of dishes in a buffet. Right? If someone is a person like me, maybe what he will do? He will go to first every dish. Just take this meal. Is it good smell or not? Right? Right. First of all, visit all the dishes. Right. What is this? This is a type of a loop. Right. Loop is also of two types. We will talk about that at a later stage. But this is loops and conditionals. Right. Whenever you have some conditions, that is your conditional statements. Very good. So far so good. Now moving ahead. Right. 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 What are examples of conditional statements? So we are now going on that direction. So conditional statements. Conditional statements. Right. Right. So what is conditional statements? Right. How does it help? So helps you to code decisions based on some precondition. This is your conditional statements. Now how many types of conditional statements are there? Right. There are majorly 4 types. First, only if. Then we have if else. Then we have if elif and else. Then we have nested if else. These are different type of conditional statements. These are different type of conditional statements. Right? Right? This is the understanding. But now what is the syntax of this? Right. So let's see first syntax, and then slowly we will move ahead to the application part. Right. Right. So let's say here we have if statements. Right. What is the syntax? So syntax is very simple. Right. Syntax is very simple. If condition true, there will be some condition. What condition? We will be seeing that. If condition is true, then the block of code will be executed. This is the syntax. Guys, whoever is learning for the first time from scratch, please do ask question. If you don't understand anything, please ask question. Right. So if condition is true, then this particular block of code will be executed. Now, let's see what type of conditions. You already have learned the conditional statements. So for example, 3 greater than 4. This is a conditional statement. So let's say false. 1 is less than 6. This is true. These all are conditional statements. Right. Now comes the interesting thing. Let's say you have A is equals to 100. Right. A is equals to 100. Right. A is equals to 100. Then if A is greater than 10, right? I am writing a condition. What is this? This is a condition. If A is greater than 10, right? Then I want to print the number is greater than 10. The number is greater than 10. Simple. Right. Very simple. Right. Execute this. See, number is greater than 10. So what is this? This is your condition. So this is your condition. If this condition is true, this condition is fulfilled, then it will enter inside this block and it will print this. This is the understanding. Right. Similarly, let's see more example. In real life, what do you know? Whatever you know in real life, weather is equals to some value. Let's say sunny. Right. Weather is equals to sunny. Now, what you can do? If weather is equals to rainy, right. Print, right. Eat pakoda. That's it. Right. Execute this. No, because weather is sunny. That's why I didn't got anything printed. But the moment you do here rainy, then what will happen? See, eat pakoda. So simple. Right. Now, let me give you a question. Now the question is very simple. Take a input from the user and check. If it's sunny, then print go to play cricket. Please try to do that. Everyone please try to do this. Right. So you would take an input from the user and check. If it's sunny, then you have to print go to play cricket. Right. Anyone? Try it out. Right. Try it out quickly. Right. So if you have to try it out, very simple. What you can do? Take the input. So how will you take the input from the user? Just write input. Right. And then inside this, enter the weather. Now this becomes the variable weather. Right. Weather. Now you have to write if weather is equals to right. Sunny. What will you print? If weather is sunny, then what you will do? Print go to play cricket. So here you will just write go to play cricket. Go to play cricket. Right. Right. Now execute. So weather, let's say sunny. Enter. See, go to play cricket. Very good. Many people have done it. Right. Rishikesh, Lucky. Right. So this is the way you do it. Very good. One more thing. If the same thing, if you write like this, it will throw you an error. This is called as indentation error, right? So this indentation is necessary. Indentation is necessary, right? Consider this as the grammar. This is the grammar, right? That after weather, this has to be written with a tab or 4 space bar, 1 2 3 4, then it will execute, right? Or one tab, you will find that this will be executed. This indentation is very, very necessary. Right. Another example, let's say temperature is equals to 25, right? If temperature is greater than 25, then what will you write? Print not a room temperature. Not a room temperature. See it, right? So it will not print anything. But if you, the moment you write 26, it will show you not a room temperature. Right. Another example, right. Let's say there is a variable is AI course. Is AI course. Let's say I will put it as a true. So if this course is there, right, it means if this course is there, if it is true. So if is AI course. So you will just write if is AI course, then you will simply write print I am studying this course. I am studying this course. Right. I am studying this course. Now see, I am studying this course. Now guys, as promised you earlier as well, with class I will also be sharing how I do code. Right. This is very important. Don't underestimate this way of writing code. What will happen? Generally people in the industry who is not that experienced coder, they will write something like this: is AI course is equals to true, right? Then you will write print I am studying this course. Something will be written like this. Right. People will write like this. But actually, this should not be done. This is not a better way. This is not a better way. In fact, you should be writing this way. Right. This is far better way. Right. So best practice 1, you can just note it down, right? So best practice here, you can note it down here, right? Best practice here. Best practice, if some condition is true, just write like this. That's it. Now moving ahead. Let's take another example. We have to check if a number is even or odd. Can anyone write this code quickly? If a number is even or odd. Quickly guys. If a number is even or odd. Can anyone write the code quickly? Everyone has to do this quickly. Right. Everyone has to write this code, right? Write a code to have the number is even. So for example, you might be knowing what should be the logic. Someone was also asking what is the use of modulo. You can say this, right? So let's say which number is even. So let's say 42 or 34. Let's say 34 modulo 2, right? Right. It will give you 0 because it gives you the remainder, right? If it is giving a remainder, then what is the meaning of this? Can I say that this is an even number? Yes or no? Right. 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 Now, you have to write a code which will print if the given number is even. How can you do that? Right. So number is equals to 42. Right. If number, right, modulo, let's say modulo 2 is equals to 0, then you print that the number is even. The number is even. Very simple, right? Print the number is even. Now let's say this is the understanding so far. You have seen a lot of problem statement only for if. But now what will happen now? In real life, things doesn't work this way, that only you have to write the if condition, right? Then how things work in real life? Right. So if the number is even, and what will happen to the number which are not even? Right. In that case, what will happen? Right. So what will happen, guys? In real life, if one condition is not fulfilled, you will do something else. अरे यही तो करते हो लाइफ में, right? This is something you do, right? ये मेरी यूज क्लास है, इसको प्रपोज किया, उसने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया, अब चले दूसरी क्लास के पास, right? This is the thing that you do, right? Similarly यहाँ पे भी बहुत सिंपल है. Let's assume कि जो नंबर इवन नहीं है वो odd है. So in that case what you will do? So now I will just copy paste this. So here मैं copy paste कर रहा हूँ. So now I am going to copy paste this. So number is %2 is equals to 0. If it is not true, then else print the number is odd. The number is odd. Very simple. Obviously there can be 0 also, right? But anyway, I am just written like this. Now here let's change this. Let's say 2, 3. What will happen? The number is odd. This is the understanding, right? Similarly, let's say weather is equals to let's say sunny, right? Weather is equals to sunny, right? What will you write, guys? Right? Is not equals to it equals to. So if weather is equals to sunny, right? If weather is equals to sunny, then what will happen? Right? What will happen, guys? Right? Print I will play football. I will play football. Else. What you will do? Else. What you can do? I will watch TV. Print I will watch TV. So I will watch TV. That's the understanding. Right. See here. I will play football because weather is sunny. Else I will watch TV. Now how it is again working? Try to understand. So weather is equals to sunny. Right? This weather is sunny. First condition. If weather is equals to sunny, this is satisfied. If this condition is satisfied, you will get inside this. I will play football. If this condition is not satisfied, then you will by default go inside this else block. Right. So for example, I will show you. So now let's change the variable. Instead of sunny, just write rainy. So you will just write rainy. So now what will happen? I will watch TV. This is the understanding. Right. Now, one more thing. Right. This was one condition at a time. Right. One condition at a time. But again, in real life, right, things are not that easy. Things are more complex. Right. Now here I will say weather is rainy, but you can have two conditions. Right. So now again, if else with multiple conditions. If else with multiple conditions. Multiple conditions. So let's say it. So now I am saying weather equals to rainy, and let's say weather is equals to rainy and money is equals to 100. Now if weather is equals to sunny, and then you will write the condition and. If weather is equals to sunny and money is greater than 10, then I will play football. Right. Sorry guys, here I have done one thing mistake, because here I have to write this bracket, and there is a reason behind it. I have done it so. I will just show you. So money is greater than 10. Right. So now here you will see I will watch TV. Right. Now guys, try to understand this. This is very, very important. Again, a best practice. Always use a parenthesis whenever you are writing multiple conditions. Very simple. Whenever you are writing multiple conditions, please use a parenthesis. Again, what happened here guys? See, weather is equals to sunny and money is greater than 10. Right. Then this condition is satisfied, then go inside this particular thing. Right. If this condition is not satisfied, it will come inside the else block and we will watch the TV. So these both conditions should be satisfied. So true and true should be there. Then only you will enter inside this block. So best practice 2. Always use a parenthesis whenever you are writing multiple conditions. So 2 best practices I have mentioned here. First, if you guys remember, right, where it is gone, indentation is necessary, that is already there, and if something is true, you will write like this. If some condition is true. Right. Even if you are using and, Tanya, even if you use and, the best practice would be to use a parenthesis. Always use a parenthesis. This is a bitwise operator. It will give you true and true. That's the understanding. That's why you need to have bracket. But even if you use and, logical, I will give you the example of logical operator. So let's say here, grade is equals to 7. Let me give this example, right? And let's say co-curricular activity is true, right? If again, these are the 2 conditions, right? What you can do? If, see it carefully, grade is greater than 5, right? And co-curricular is equals to true, or let's say directly write co-curricular, right? Then what you will do? Print you are all rounder. You are all-rounder. Right? See, you are all-rounder. It works, but this is not the best practice. And one more thing, right? Many people you will find again doing the classic rookie mistake. What they will do? They will write something like this: co-curricular is equals to true. Even this will also work. I am not saying this will not work. Go ahead and just execute. Right? See, this will work. This will work. See? But ideally you should not do, because the first best practice that just I taught you. Right? Right? The first best practice that I taught you. Right? Even if it is true, you don't need to do co-curricular equals to true, or even it in a bracket. You don't need to do it. Right? This is the understanding. Now, here in this case as well, please try to close in this parenthesis. Always the best practice. Right? So here you don't have equals to true, but let's say if you write here equals to true, then please add in the bracket. Right? So I will just do one thing. I will just write like this first, so that, and also if there are multiple conditions, then you can also use a bigger bracket to make the code easy to understand. The same thing can also be written like this, because it is co-curricular, and you can just simply remove this. Right? You can simply remove this. But if you ask me, always try to follow the best practice. Right? This is the understanding. So co-curricular only can be used. That is the understanding. Now, moving ahead. So we have understood this. We have understood if else. So again, let's see one more example of if else. So let's say age is, let's say 16 or 17, right? 16. If age is greater than equals to 18, then what you will do? Print, you will be served alcohol. You will be served alcohol. Right? Alcohol. Right? Else, what will happen? Else. Please get out. Print, get out. Please get out. This happens in general life. Right? Yes or no, guys? Right. Now, very good. We have understood. If you guys have understood so far, then you have understood a lot of things. Now we are going to see a lot of problem statements. Right. Now let's move ahead. First thing, here we have if else. So here if else, we had two conditions. This is two condition. Right? Two condition. Right. In real life, we can have multiple conditions. Right. So how? Right. I will just show you. For example, right. So let's say, we have something like this. You might have seen in your life, right, or in your college, right? If number is greater than 90, then you are having a distinction marks. Right? If the score is less than 90 and greater than 80, then you say grade A. Right? Simultaneously grade B. Right? Next values. Grade C. Something like that. Right? So let's try to code that as well. Right? So here we have, let's say score is equals to some value, let's say 85, right? Now if score is greater than equals to 90, if score is greater than equals to 90, then you can simply write print the grade is distinction alif, right? Alif, what you will write? Let's say if score is less than equals to or less than 90 and greater than equals to 80, right? 80 greater than equals to, right? If this is the case, then what will happen? You can just write print the grade is A. The grade is A. So here when we have multiple condition, two conditions we were having if else. When you will be having multiple conditions, then if, elif, and whatever other conditions are there. So again let's say elif. You can have multiple elif, doesn't matter. Multiple elif, doesn't matter. So again elif, and let's say here less than 70, and let's say here 80, right? Then again you can just write print the grade is B, right? You can have multiple elif, and finally you can have else. And what does else say? Print you are bhaglol. So don't use the word. Let's say you are fail. That's it. Right. Now execute this. Right. The grade is A because the marks is this. Now let's say your value is like 40. Then you will say you are fail. Something like this. Right. Right. Okay, now it's your turn, guys. Code. Quickly you have to code. Everyone has to code. Let's say age. Some value 70. You have to code if age is less than 18, you are minority. You are minority. Right. If age is greater than 65, right, greater than 18 and less than 65, then you can just say you are adult. Right. Else you can just print you are senior citizen. Senior citizen. Guys, can you try it out quickly? Everyone, can you guys try it out? Right. Please do try it out, guys. Right. Everyone, please try it out. Right. Please try it out. Right. So I'll just write the code as well, parallelly. Right. Right. Please try it out. Right. Please try it out, guys, quickly. Right. You already know the question. Everyone has to do. So let's say age is equals to some value 70. Right. If age is less than 18, then what do you say? Print you are minority. You are minority. Minority. Right. You are minority. Then alif. Alif. If again age is less than equals to 65 and greater than 18, let's say greater than 18, you can say you are adult. So you can just write you are adult. Print you are adult. You are adult. Right. And then last, right, else. You can simply write print you are a senior citizen. You are senior citizen. Right. Now execute this. You are senior citizen. Now just write the age 56. You are adult. Right. Right. Just write 5. Right. You are minority. Right. So this is the understanding. Right. Now this is the way you write multiple conditions. Now guys, there can be a lot of applications. I will be talking about some more applications. So let me give you some more applications. Right. Find minimum of 3 numbers. Try it out guys, if you want to try it out. Minimum of 3 numbers. Right. Just try it out. Minimum of 3 numbers. Right. How to find minimum of 3 numbers? Given, let's say, number is a equals to 10, b equals to 15, c is equals to 17. How to find minimum of 3 numbers? Right. So let's say number is a is equals to 5, b is equals to 6, c is equals to 8. How to find the minimum number? Everyone, very simple. If a is less than b and a is less than c. Always follow the best practice, but as of now I am not just following. So here what you can do, if a is less than b and a is less than c, what you will say? Print the smallest number is a. Something like this. The smallest number is a. Right. Alif, let's say alif, b is less than c. Then what will happen? Right. Print smallest is, right. Print smallest is b. Right. Smallest is b. Right. Something like this. Smallest is b. And finally you can simply write else smallest is c. Print smallest is c. So fun, right? Smallest is c. Right. So now you can just put the numbers as well. Here a, here you can just put b, here you can put c. Done. So smallest number is a. Right. Very good, Rishikesh. Right. So this is the understanding. Now comes last concept in conditionals. That is called as nested if else. So nested if else. So now we are going to look at nested if else. So you can have, so when you can have multiple if else inside if else. So you can have multiple if else inside if else. Right. This is again going to be fun. We are at the ultimate depth of conditional statement. Right. So let's try to look at this now. So for example, here we have x equals to 7. Let's say x equals to 7, y is equals to 6. Right. So now if x is greater than 5, right, and if y is greater than 5, then what you will say? Print both x and y is greater than 5. X and y is greater than 5. Right. This is the first thing. If else. What will happen in this case? Else print x is greater than 5. X is greater than 5, but y is less than 5. And finally you have else, which says print x is not greater than 5. X is not greater than 5. Now execute this. See here, both x and y is greater than 5. How is it working? So let's try to understand this. Very important question, right? So let's say these are the two values, x 7, y 6. Now, if x is greater than 5, first condition satisfied, that is true. Next, if y is greater than 5, fine, y is greater than 5. Second condition also satisfied. If both of the condition is satisfied, then you will enter inside this block. So first condition satisfied, you entered this side. Second condition satisfied, you entered this side, and then you printed both x and y is greater than 5. But let's say if this condition is satisfied, you entered this, but this condition is not satisfied. This condition is not satisfied. So in that case, if this condition is not satisfied, you will enter inside the else block, which says x is greater than 5, but y is less than 7. Right. This is the understanding. Now, let's say the first condition itself didn't satisfied, then you will enter inside else x is not greater than 5. And I don't care what about y, because I don't see that this condition is not satisfied, so I will not even take care of y, what is happening with y. That is the understanding. Everyone understood this? Yes or no, guys? Quickly. Right. I will explain it again. Right. Very important, because this is the ultimate depth we have reached. Right. Right. Starting from very scratch. So let's try to understand this once more. Right. So what is nested if else? You can have multiple if else inside if else. This is the first thing. Right. Right. Now, let's say here we have x equals to 7, right? Y is equals to 6. Right. If x is greater than y, if x is greater than 5, it means this particular condition is satisfied, which is x equals to 7. If this condition is satisfied, it means this condition is true. And if this condition is true, it will enter inside this block. Right? It will enter inside this block. Now, if it entered inside this block, there is another condition. If y greater than 5, so what is y? Y value is 6. Now, if this is greater than 5, it means both of the condition is satisfied. It will finally enter into this if block, inside this if block, and this will print x is greater than and y is greater than 5. This is the first thing. Second, fine. You understood? Understood? Very good. But let's say if this condition is not satisfied, so in that case, what will happen? It will not enter inside this if block. It will enter inside this else block. So x is greater than 5, but y is less than 5. This is the understanding. Simple. And finally, in the last, if this condition itself is not satisfied, it will not enter inside this. It will just print here, else block, x is not greater than 5. Now, what you can do? You can have more fun. Just write 3. See here, x is greater than 5, but y is less than 5. See, this time this condition is satisfied, entered in this condition, but this condition is wrong. That's why it prints the else block. This is the understanding. Is it clear? Everyone? Sero, Sernio, Bago, Bagino. Is it clear, everyone? Right? Now, let's move ahead. Right? Let's move ahead. Let's solve few more questions. Why not? Let's solve few more questions. It is going to be more fun. Right? More fun. Right? So now, let's say you have to write a code. Right? Code is very easy. Right? 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 So I will just explain the code first. Right? If someone is a VIP, right, and age is greater than 18, right, right, and less than 65 or let's say 60, so you have to print VIP customer. Right. Else, right, what do you have to do? Right, you are VIP, but also a senior citizen. Also a senior citizen. Right? If this condition is not satisfied, then you have to print VIP status is for adult. For adult. And even if this particular thing is not satisfied, then you can just write you are a regular customer. Right? The regular customer. This is the question. Right? If you want to try it out, try it out. Parallelly, I will show you. I will code in front of you. How can you do that? Right? Right. So is VIP. Is VIP. So let's say is VIP is equals to false. Right? Age is some value. So let's say maybe 23. Right? If is VIP, guys, you should try parallelly. If is VIP, and then if age is greater than equals to 18. If age is greater than equals to 18, right? Right, fine. And if age is less than 60, if age is less than 60, print. What you will do? Print. Here you can just print welcome VIP customer. Welcome VIP customer. You can write like this. Right. If this condition is not satisfied, what you will do? Else. Right. Print you are VIP. You are VIP, and very important, as you are senior citizen. As you are senior citizen. As you are senior citizen. Very good. Right. Now let's say if this age is greater than equals to 18, right, is not satisfied. So in this case, what you will do? You can simply write else. Here else. Right. Print VIP status is only for adult. VIP status is only for adult. This is the understanding. Now again else. Here you can simply write print. You are not a VIP customer. You are just a regular customer. That's it. Regular customer. Right. This is the understanding. Now execute this. Now, if you execute, see here, VIP is false. You are just a regular customer. Now let's do VIP is equals to true. VIP is equals to true. Right. Welcome VIP customer. Right. Very simple. This is the understanding. Right. Now play with it. So let's say age is 66. See, you are VIP and very important as you are a senior citizen. As you are a senior citizen. Right. Now we are going to see the last thing of the class. I know it's too late, but hopefully you have learned a lot of things, and believe me, these things that you have seen you will not find anywhere in such an arranged way. And we have practiced actually a lot of mini questions, right? Everyone might be agreeing with this that you have practiced a lot of questions. Yes or no, guys? So now let's move ahead with other things as well, right? So now here we are going to see now a very interesting thing. We have to design a survey. Design a survey. Design a survey. Right. Lucky, just wait. You will be getting assignments. If you are enrolled in our classes, you will be getting assignments. Right. Don't worry about that. Right. If you are not enrolled, then already you have actually covered a lot of things. Anyway, we have covered. So design a survey. So we are going to design a survey. Right. How to design a survey? Right. Guys, I think you should try it out, everyone. Right. If you guys want to try, please do try it out. You have to design a survey. Right. Everyone should try it out once. Right. Everyone should try it out. Right. So I will show you. So name is equals to, right, input. Right. Let's say please enter your name. Please enter your name. Then we have, let's say, email. Email is equals to maybe input. Please enter your email. Please enter your email. Right. Please enter your email. Then we have, let's say, password. Right. So we are now designing a basic survey form. So design a survey form. Right. See how you can do this. So input. Please enter your password. Please enter your password. Right. Now, first thing, already you know, name cannot be empty. So you can just write if name is equals to empty string. So this is empty string or null value. What you can write? Print, please enter your name. Please enter a valid name. Please enter a valid name, cannot be empty. First thing. Then we have email and password. Let's have some check on email and password as well. Right. Else. Let's say else. I'm writing like this. You can write anyway. If @ is not in email. So let's say if @ not in email. Then what will happen? Print, please enter a valid email ID, please. That's it. Now again, else. Right, else. Now coming to password. Right. If length of password is, why I have written in the inverted, so I will length of password is less than 0. If someone is not entering a password, print no password entered. Please enter a valid password. Please enter a valid password. A valid password. Right? Else, what you will do? If these checks are satisfied, then what you will do? Print registration is successful. Very simple. Login/registration is successful. Registration is successful. Registration is successful. Right. Successful. This is the understanding. Now try it. Let's try it out. So please enter your name. See what will happen. Email, nothing, nothing. See. Please enter a valid name. Cannot be empty. Right. Then again, try to execute this. So let's say Ajay. Right. Email, something random. Password, something random. See. Please enter a valid email ID. Please. Right. Again, try it out. Something like this. Name, Ajay. Then have the email ID. aj@gmail. Maybe. Then some password. And finally you see login or registration is successful. This is one of the real application of conditional statements. Further, the real applications, more real applications of conditional statements will be given in your assignments. So we have practiced actually a lot of things today. All of these notes will be provided to you guys on the dashboard, so you don't need to worry about that. Right. Further, in the dashboard, I will be creating a section of form. If you guys have any doubts, you can just fill the form and I will try to respond in 48 hours, whatever doubts you have. Otherwise, in the next class also, we can discuss the doubts you have. So now I will just take a pause and ask if you guys have any doubts about today's class. Please go ahead and then ask whatever doubts you have. Right. Anyone has any doubts till now? Please go ahead. If you have any suggestions, any feedback, also you can go ahead. What is the difference between using two if instead of one if-else? So you can use anything. It is not strictly that you have to use two ifs. So basically two ifs, so for example here, this condition can be combined to one condition as well. Right. You can just have and condition and just write age is greater than 18. You can do that as well. It depends, right? It depends, right, how you want to write the code. I wanted to have an explicit else condition here, right? That's why I did it, something like that. Anyone else has any questions to ask? Quickly, anyone? Okay. Tushar says, did we have to complete the assignments before the next live lecture? Yes, please do it. Right. Please do the assignment. Right. Please do it before the next live lecture. Anyone else has any other questions to ask? Tanya asks, no, not in nested loops, in loops when multiple conditions, sometimes to if blocks are used instead of if elif. It doesn't matter, you can use it, but generally the best practice is to have if else or if elif else. That is the best practice. Anyone has any questions to ask? Okay guys, so that would be all for today's lecture. Let's meet in the next lecture, right? I will be scheduling the session, right? And in the next lecture, paid people will be having a different dashboard to ask the question, right? So you guys can ask, the dashboard from the paid dashboard itself. So no need to worry about that. So that would be all for today's lecture. Thank you everyone.